Hey Jim, it's your boy Widgie here, coming at you with some more Age of Empires 3 Definitive Edition, and they have finally moved on to Lakota. Yes, we're going to be seeing a huge rework of Lakota, along with some other things as well that are going to actually be affecting the native civilizations, and also, as you can see, there is a minor civ rework as well. So absolutely tons of stuff going on. I'm not too sure what this is going to mean for the game, but without further ado, let's jump into this. We're not going to go through everything in the PUP because we know the PUP can change before full release. So let's have a look first at the minor civ rework. We do see clicking on a settlement now will preview what units and techs are available inside before building it. I think that's great because a lot of people don't realize that you can click on something, and I believe you can hold the Alt key and then it will show you what it can provide, but you don't have to do that anymore. It's quite straightforward. You just click it and it will show you, which is awesome. Let's have a look. So it says minor civ rework. An additional mechanic to form alliances with minor civilizations has been implemented. This is an additional one, so it's not changing the standard, which is basically you just build a TP on it. So it says instead of manually placing a TP, it's now also possible to convert the settlement socket with any unit and slowly build the TP automatically with a click of a button. So to convert it, you can just walk up to any neutral settlement with any kind of unit. Upon conversion, you'll hear a capture sound and see a flag of your player color placed into the socket. Beware, moving near a neutral settlement will change its color on the minimap, alerting a vigilant opponent to a potential raiding party's location. So be stealthy. So to form an alliance with any, you select the converted socket and click the new build button in the top left. Forming it does not require a builder unit and costs 100 food and 100 wood. Upon clicking the button, the TP will be slowly built. Interesting. What is this going to mean? I'm not too sure, because I'm going to be honest with you guys. I don't actually really use the minor civs that much. I feel like I never really go to the TP posts, and I think they can be really good sometimes. You can have really decent units and tech that can be perfect for your civ and for what you're doing, and they can also sort of plug that gap between your composition. So if you're a civ that doesn't have very good skirm units, you can maybe get the Cree trackers, which are a skirm unit, which you can get from the minor civs. So it does make sense. I'm just not very good at using them, so maybe I will have to use them in the near future. A neutral settlement with a converted socket will now provide some line of sight of the surrounding area, as long as you are in control. A bit like a stagecoach. Okay, so building it also improves this bonus further and grants a trickle of 0.35 XP a second and access to additional units and technologies as usual. Wow, okay, so if you build a TP, so instead of doing this additional mechanic, you go ahead and build a TP as normal, it will improve the bonus further and grants 0.35 XP a second. As long as the construction of a TP has not been started, other players can still convert the sockets back with any of their units or manually build TPs in the socket. Very, very interesting. I'm not too sure how I feel about this, because I guess you got civs that have a good starting resources. They could probably just nab one of these TPs as soon as possible, but I don't know what benefit that would be to them. We got new minor civs, so this is like more content coming out. We got the Tengri Shrine. To celebrate the rework of the native alliance system, we have added a new minor civ, the Tengri Shrine. The Tengriism, I don't know if I'm saying this correctly by the way, is an ancient animistic religion that was widespread in North and Central Asia. Okay, the units, we have the Tartar Archer and the Tengri Wolf, and we have some technologies there. We're not too sure what they are exactly. You can ally with these new minor civs on the following maps. Awesome, awesome. Let's move on. We do have another rework. This is rework madness. This update is kind of crazy. So this is looking at all the native civs. Lakota, Howd, Aztec, and Inca. We've got a naval rework. So the following dock technologies are shared by all 4 Native American civs. So we have improved cordage, which basically is a dock technology costing 350 wood and coin, and it boosts hit points of ships by 25%. River raids, that's another one that costs. So we're starting to have some of these cards now that cost resources, which I really like. You know, that's something that has been sort of brought into the game when we had the extra DLCs like the States, the Swedes, Inca. You know, getting these cards that will cost you resources as well as XP. So it's cool to see. That's going to grant you 25% attack bonus. Damn, that's big. And finally, legendary warboats. That is a big chunky one there, 1,000 wood and coin, and it does double, baby. So what you could do is you could rack all that up and you could have 50% attack and 50% HP on all of your boats. So I think for like a team game or maybe treaty game, I'm not too sure about treaty, but longer games that really draw out, I think if you're going to go for the sea, I think the natives can be really awesome with these improvements. So accompanying the naval balance adjustments, what do we see? So water ceremony. So this is for the Aztecs. So it's reduced the effectiveness of the attack and hit point improvement provided to warships by each villager tasked to the community plaza by approximately 2/3. Wow. Reduced it by 2/3. Improvement is now calculated from base stats. Damn. So water ceremony has taken a bit of a whack there. The Aztec, which is a big button dock, now also grants 10% attack and HP to all warships. Nice buff there. The Howd, the Rawhide covers, which is another big button for the dock, now grants 30% hit points to all warships, up from 20%. Woo! The Howd are getting some juicy buffs here. Inca, now there's a big button here for their dock, now also improves the Chincha Raft range and build limit. Chincha rafts no longer receive a range and build limit shadow improvement upon reaching the Fortress Industrial. So we're not too sure what impact that is there for them. And finally, Lakota Flaming Arrows now grants 30% attack to all warships, up from 25%. So a nice little juicy update there for the natives as a whole. Let's move down and look at Lakota, of course. This is the start of the show. Finally, Lakota. People have been asking for it. Give us Lakota! And they have answered. Here we go. Lakota Civ Rework. Now let's have a look at the first card here. We got new card technologies and big buttons. Camp movements. Ships 2 war hut travois and improves construction speed and enables most Lakota buildings to be deconstructed into travois so they may be built elsewhere. So this is very, very similar to the Mongols on Age of Empires 4. Where you can take any building, pretty much any building, deconstruct it, move it around the map, so it's very nomadic. And that is that is unique, to the Lakota. So I don't know if any other civs do that, so that is pretty damn awesome. Territorial Claims, an Age 3 card, enables the Chetan Bowmen to siege buildings from a long range with their arrows and significantly improves War Clubman siege damage. That's a Fortress Age card. Their damage is 75% increased. I think that's pretty damn good. Gives Lakota another way of sieging by using the Chetan bow instead, so that's cool. The Akichita, which is an Age 4, significantly increases the hit points of all Lakota warriors, but reduces their damage against villagers. Wow, look at that, 20% HP bonus, but village damage is reduced for Cav and infantry. I think that's a negative there. That looks like it's a positive, but I think that's a negative 34%. Very, very interesting card here. Once again, very good for the later game, I would suggest. Also for treaty games as well, I think this would be quite nice. Advanced captured mortars. This is the mortar capability that you can get with Lakota. It ships 4 captured mortars, reduces their resource and population cost. So that is pretty crazy as well. So you have an answer in Age 4 for some further siege right there for the mortars. Lakota lands, a big button for Age 4. TPs now cast their benefits over a much wider area and will also improve unit movement speed. This is kind of crazy if you go for that Lakota card that boosts attack damage as well as HP for your TPs. If you get the Lakota lands, damn, you're going to have faster units, improved line of sight and auras by 20 range. And yeah, I mean, it doesn't cost a huge amount. 250 food, wood and coin in Age 4 is really not that much. Gun running, another big button in Age 4, enables your native embassy to recruit sinister outlaws and powerful captured mortars. So once again, this probably goes hand in hand with this one here, because this card, the advanced captured mortars, will reduce their resource and population cost for the mortars. So if you have this gun running one here, you can get those captured mortars a lot cheaper. That is actually available to all native civs now, costing 700 coin. Final one, fur dressing is a tech one. Villagers gather coin from tribal marketplaces faster. Tribal marketplace technology available to the Lakota and just the Howd, costing 75 food and 125 wood, grants 10% gathering speed. Is that good? That's an interesting amount. It's a very small amount for that card to cost as an Age 1 card. I think that could be pretty good. 10% gathering speed there for the tribal marketplaces. I mean, already like with Howd, you have an increased gold gather rate. So 10% on top of that could be quite a good shout there. So have a look down to Lakota gameplay adjustments. Civilization bonus updated. You begin with 200 population, of course. However, huntable animals last 10% longer, but cannot build walls until the industrial age. Is that the case? I think the animals last longer is definitely not a current civ bonus. Of course, the population is. But what about this? I don't think so. You cannot build walls until the industrial age. Damn. And starting units. This is kind of huge. You get an extra 100 wood, ladies and gents. Nothing changes. You get 100 wood. And I think this 100 wood helps feed into the whole minor civ play. As we mentioned up here, minor civs, they cost 100 food and 100 wood, and you can slowly capture those with any unit. So that 100 wood that they've added to Lakota could potentially give you some sort of angle there where you can take a minor sort of settlement earlier. So let's have a look. Units and buildings. The Takala soldier to complete the narrative correction of Takala soldiers and Cheyenne riders. Both units have received new visuals. Nice. The tribal marketplace, which is what you build to gather gold. It's now free to construct. Oh my god, that's amazing. That's amazing. And that also impacts the Howd Civ as well. So Howd here are getting some juicy bonuses and buffs. Let's not forget that. It's not just about the Lakota rework. Howd is getting some changes as well as the other natives, but it seems that Howd and Lakota are receiving quite a lot here, which is nice. And also the gather rate has been reduced by 10%. The yield, however, has been improved by 10%. Okay, so once again, you've got that corresponding card in Age 1 that can boost your gather rate by 10%. So maybe that is a thing that you might now need to go for, the fur dressing, to help you out, because they are going to be obviously nerfing the gather rate there for the tribal marketplace. The TP, let's have a look at this one. Hit point aura no longer stacks, now also affects settlers. This is that's just a huge nerf. So normally with the TPs, you would build multiple TPs, they would stack, and then they would provide a HP and also an attack bonus if you get a card to your military units, but that doesn't even work anymore. So there's no point in building multiple TPs together, really. It now also provides a 10% gather rate bonus to villagers that does not stack. This is nice. So what you could do is, it's a little bit like the Malta when you build outposts, you build commanderies, it gives that buff with the Wignacourt construction. This is like that. You get the TP and you can just dot them around where you're hunting, and it gives a 10% gather rate bonus. That is pretty damn good, actually. But is it enough? I don't know. Build limit is now increased to 20 though, which is nice. And the cost, however, has been increased to 50 wood. Hit points increased as well. Build time increased as well. So it costs more to build, takes longer. You have more of them, but it doesn't stack with your army. So it makes Age 2 play for Lakota really difficult here. May no longer be constructed by Lakota infantry as a default feature. So there is a nomadic expansion card that allows infantry to build it, but you can now no longer build it as a default feature. Oh god. Okay, so it looks like the TP is becoming more of an economical building now, not really as like an offensive building that we used to see it. Walls. Lakota infantry all now inflict 1.5 times to walls, and Lakota cavalry all now inflict 0.5 to walls, indicated on Stats HUD. This can now be improved to 1.5 for cav with the horsemanship big button. That is actually pretty good. You know, it gives Lakota now a way of sieging. They become more of a nomadic, raiding, pillaging civilization, which means it actually gives Lakota a way of sieging buildings without having to use the community plaza to increase siege damage. Let's see if they've changed any of that. Let's carry on. Bow Rider no longer inflicts twice double damage to artillery. Regains this bonus with the Elite Bow Rider upgrade. Okay, all right. The Elite Bow Rider, is that Age 3 or is that Age 4? I'm not entirely sure. I can't remember. Axe Rider, cost adjusted to 150 food, 50 coin from 160 food and 40 coin. Damn, once again, so it's going to be harder to get your Axe Riders out because they're going to cost more coin. You now have increased gather for food, But still, you're going to struggle to get Axe Riders out early there because of that change. The Chetan Bowman now benefits from the target lock feature. Once the firing animation begins, the attack will always finish, even if the target moves out of range. Nice. That is big. Big buff there to the Chetan Bowman. So we're seeing some interesting changes here with Lakota. And maybe this is going to help maybe with the Age 2 aggro. Because you don't have TP anymore that can really do a lot because it doesn't stack. So interesting. The Captured Mortar now benefits from the Wild West upgrade as it is now tagged an outlaw. Previously it was a native warrior, now costs 8 pop up from 5, now costs only coins. So the mortar, that is actually a huge sort of nerf there. I'm not entirely sure because you've got the Wild West upgrade here because it's an outlaw, so I'm not too sure what that means. But okay. Community Plaza, the charging ceremony is considerably less powerful as the Lakota Civ's reliance on it for siege power should be considerably less now. Yeah, so I think this is the siege one, right? The charging ceremony, yeah, it's less powerful as the Lakota Civ's reliance on it for siege power should be considerably less. So you're not going to really be doing it that much because all of your units now inflict 1.5 times to walls. That is only walls though. That is not buildings. Let's remember that. It's only walls. So, Town Centre restored to the usual cost of 500 wood from 400. Damn. This is really tough. I tell you, this is making Lakota hard to kind of play here, just from looking at it. Let's have a look at the cards. Oh my giddy aunt. What? 4 and 5 villager cards have been removed. I need to take the glasses off for that. Holy crap. All right, let's put them back on. Are you kidding me? Okay, so this is going to make Lakota so hard to play Age 2 and to get up quick into Age 2. You're pretty much always going to have to go for a fast age up, and then you're going to have to go for the card, the new card, the construction one, that gives you 2 War Hut Travois. I think that's probably the thing you're going to have to do. Because if you don't go for 4 vil, 5 vil, it's going to take forever. It's going to take forever for you to get up into Age 2. 8 villagers has been added to Age 3 though. Okay, all right. The Great Hunter, I love this card. Effect updated to villagers gather food 20% faster from hunted animals. Also, 12.5% of all food you have gathered from hunted animals is granted to you again up to a maximum of 1,500 resources. Wow. So all of that you have gathered from hunted animals is granted to you again. So when you get it, is that once you've gathered it? So you get the card or is that as you're gathering it, you get extra on top? Right, okay. So the Great Hunter card looks like a really nice one. The Spice Trade has been replaced with Team Spice Trade. Okay, so we're losing the Spice Trade. So Great Hunter is going to still be a main card that you're going to want to have. The Adoption one, effect tweaked to it arrives fast. Villagers train 25% faster and grant 250% more XP when trained. I think the Adoption, that's a real good buff right there. Arriving fast is really nice as well. 15 Bison now only ships 13. The Infinite Bison now only ships 13. Nerf. Not terrible, but still not helpful. New, the camp movements, which we mentioned, improves construction speed. We've already looked at that one. Friendly Territory moved to Age 1. Effect updated to TP's gains significantly more HP and now also improve the attack speed. Right, so they no longer provide attack bonuses. They used to be able to provide an attack bonus that stacks, but now it just doubles the HP that they receive. Yeah, so they get 200. Hang on. They get 200% HP. TP's gain significantly. Oh, TPs, sorry. Apologies. And every unit gets a 10% attack speed. Nah, I don't think that's 100% worth it now. The Friendly Territory, I'm not too sure. But Nomadic Expansion moved to Age 3. Effect updated to enables Lakota infantry to construct TPs. Nearby TPs also boost military building training speeds. They work twice as fast. Okay. That's been moved to Age 3 though. Riding School has been removed. The Horsemanship Big Button now also improves cavalry train speed. Okay. The Wind Runners, not entirely sure what that one is, but that's been moved to Age 4. Mustangs is now a team card. Cavalry and Shock Infantry cost improvement reduced to 10%. Right. We're seeing a lot of nerfs here, but it is going to change the entire way Lakota plays. The Akichita, which we already mentioned, the cavalry hit points has been removed. The 6 Chetan bow has been increased to 7. Okay, so it's a little buff there. So it looks like they don't really want you to use Cav as much with Lakota. Or maybe they do, but there isn't as many cards to buff those Cav units. The Cone Stoga Wagons now also increases town center build limit by +1. And finally, the Uprising now also activates the Elite and Champion upgrades for the 7, Chetambo Club Warrior and Wakina Rifleman delivered. Okay, that's quite a big card. That provides Elite and Champion upgrades for all those units. Uprising and gives you 7. That's nuts. That's nuts. Technologies. Let's have a look. So new Lakota lands is the TP big button, now cast a benefit over a much wider area. We saw that. The gun running one is the embassy one. Okay, yeah, we saw that one. Corporation, tribal marketplace big button. We didn't see this. Cost reduced to 200 food, 200 wood. Damn, that is a huge reduction. XP trickle provided to working villagers is reduced to 0.03 from 0.1. Interesting that. What is this one? The corporation? So it's an XP trickle that you get from working villagers. That is at a significant drop as well. I don't know whether that's going to be something that is going to be decent. We've got the fur dressing, which is the one that I mentioned. The villagers gather coin from tribal marketplace faster. So I think this is going to be definitely a card that you're going to want to get at some point. It doesn't really cost much to get, and you might want to get that very early on as you're getting into age 2 maybe, because you're going to need that coin, especially if you're looking for an FF or something like that. Bone Pipe Armor, which is the Corral big button. The effect is updated to traditional armor, enables your Lakota warriors to be more resistant to siege type damage. Okay, adds 5%, very nice. Battle Anger, Community Plaza big button. The effect updated to Lakota cavalry now inflict greatly increased damage to artillery, especially your war chief. Note, this combines the previous effect of both Battle Anger and Bone Pipe Armor into one. Horsemanship affects enables to train faster and inflict increased damage to walls. Okay. So it combines these two together. Is that what we're saying? This combines the previous effects of both Battle Anger and Bone Pipe. Okay, right. Okay, I think this is just different here. The Lakota Takala Soldier, cost increased 2,000 food. Ugh, damn. So let's have a little bit of a breather there. So Lakota is going to be played completely differently now. The TPs, I don't think are going to be used really offensively. I think they're going to be used more economically. You're going to have them around where you're hunting, where you're mining, to give your villagers that extra boost. You're going to take a little bit longer to get into age 2, so you're probably going to need to age up faster. I think it's going to be difficult for Lakota to be an aggressive rushing age 2 civ. I just don't think that's going to be an option. I think it's going to be more of either a boomy style or trying to go for maybe like a semi-FF or something like that. I think it's going to be very difficult for them to play age 2 because it just takes so long for you to get going and you don't have the eco to help you out. So that's my thoughts so far anyway. And there's some civ balance general stuff here. The Rifleman reverted its stats to those it's had in Legacy, but now has 16 range up from 12. Royal Arquebuses now benefits from Vala promotions from which they receive additional hit points and damage. And there's a few other changes here. I'm not going to go through all of these. We do see cards here, however. Advanced TP, the cost improvement is reduced to 35%. Range attack enabled now inflicts 20 damage down from 25. So ATP has got a nerf as well. So for all those civs that may rely on that, like the Portuguese maybe sometimes, that's going to be another hit. Team Cheap Outposts. This is available to the Portuguese, Ethiopians and Howd is now called Team Natural Lookouts. So another buff here to Howd. And a few here for little British here. We've got the Ranger, increased armor, very nice. Rogers Rangers, second instance of the Ranger Church now sends 26 instead of 26 Guard, has been renamed to Queen's Rangers. Interesting. We've got a few more card changes here. Inca, the Haracha, range attack damage is reduced to 20 from 40. What the hell? But now it inflicts double against infantry. Oh my god. So yeah, the Haracha take an absolute huge whack there, but obviously it is a siege unit, so that makes sense that it inflicts. So it inflicts the same damage against infantry, but anything that isn't infantry, it'll only do 20 damage. So that's brutal. Inca with another big nerf there. Also technologies, the Holanka big button now grants +5 armor down from 10. That's another nerf. Jesus, to Inca. Poor Inca here getting whacked. Cards, the Holanka support. I love this card, and this card's great. Cost increased to 500 from 250. Oh my god. And the Renegade Spanish, both cards now be sent twice, like in the... Okay, well that's... Oh god, Inca is just... That's just awful. That's really grim. Italy, one of the new civs. Let's see if they've changed anything for that. So the following 2 cards have been added. Roman Tactics. Improves Pikeman, Halberdier, and Pavizia hit points. Enables a damage boost when they fight in groups. Okay, cool. So that's giving them a kind of an option there with that kind of composition. The Pavizia Pikeman or Bow Pike composition gives Italy the chance there, which is quite nice. That's a big chunky Pavizia hit point upgrade there. Look at that. Red shirts improves the damage of all Italian musket and rifle infantry. Very good. And naval gunner's been removed, and you can see there's a few other sort of changes here to the final civilizations. But there you go, guys. That is it. And god, that took a little bit longer than I thought. Yeah, 25 minutes run through. Quite a long sort of rework there. And as I mentioned before, I think it's going to change the whole landscape of Lakota. I think Howd have actually come out on top of this. There are some things that have been added to Howd, but nothing really taken away. So I think Howd is going to be definitely a civilization that you might want to start picking up again. I might give them a go because those changes are definitely going to really help, especially that the tribal marketplace is for free now. You don't have to worry about that little bit of wood. You've got to try and gather that 25 wood to get a tribal marketplace now. You don't have to worry about that. That's all done. It's just absolutely free, baby. And you can use that wood for houses, infantry upgrades, anything you like. So anyway, guys, I hope you really enjoyed this video. Let me know down in the comments below what you think of this. Is this going to stay the same before it's released? Because remember, this is a PUP, so things do change. Let me know down in the comments below, of course, what you think about this. Do you think it's too over the top with Lakota? Have they completely wrecked the civilization? Have they changed it for the good or for the worst? Make sure to let me know, and if you did enjoy it, make sure to drop a like. I'll catch you in the next video, in the next stream. Take care, guys. Bye.